All right, so start with your clearing, whatever that is for you. And then you'll find a comfortable seat on your mat so we can get started. I already feel better. I just did my clearing with y'all and I already feel like more grounded just sitting here and being here with you. So I'm really glad you showed up today. Thank you. I led yoga this morning for just like some of the KIPP, like the KIPP, like all Texas support staff meeting this morning. Before they showed up, they had optional yoga and it was chair yoga for 30 minutes, but I was actually like sweating. So yeah, so I'm like already a little bit warmed up today. So sit comfortably on your mat. We're gonna work on opening our hips today. We store a lot of emotions in our hips, so we'll work on opening those up and on grounding ourselves there. So wherever you are, I'm sitting on a block, but you can sit with your legs crossed. If you're doing that, actually I'll do that too. Just bring your knees down onto the ground so you're rooted down. And either close your eyes or focus your gaze on a point in front of you. Narrowing your focus. And I started the practice today that I did this morning with the question of, how are you feeling? I'm reading a great book right now by Mark Brackett called Permission to Feel. And he starts the book with that simple question of how are you feeling? With the idea being that we ask the question 15, 20 times a day maybe, but how often do we really pause and take in the complexity of our feelings and the feelings of others that are around us? So take this moment to assess how you really are feeling. How's your body feeling? Do a scan, start with your top of your head and move all the way down. Think of what areas are tight, what areas are open, what areas you may just want to give some extra love and attention to today in our practice. And then you set your own intention today for what part of your body, maybe it's your heart, needs some extra love and attention. Take a deep breath in. You can start to turn on your Ujjayi breath. If you know that breath, it's an oceanic breath. Almost like people call it a Darth Vader breath. You can use that throughout our practice. And if you don't know that, then just use a regular breath. Go ahead and blink your eyes open. And if you're sitting on a block or a prop, you can remove that. Before we get started, I should have said this earlier, make sure that we're gonna do a lot on our hips today, obviously, so we'll be on our knees a bit too. If you wanna grab a blanket or something to kind of give your knee more support, you can always roll your mat, of course, too, but sometimes people like to have a prop there. So let's start with a seated twist. Take your hands up and then bring your right hand behind you and your left hand in front of you. So again, you're focusing on bringing your knees down to the ground as you twist up and out in your spine. So lift your chin and see if you can look over your right shoulder. Inhale in. Pretend that there's a string on the top of your head and someone's pulling you up, and then back. And then slowly come to center, bring your hands up again, and come to the other side. Again, head up, and then twist on over your left shoulder this time. Focusing on bringing your knee points down to the ground. Checking in here again as we're starting. This is kind of a gentle way to start. So Where are you? How's your body feeling right now? And then coming back to center. And I also did this one this morning, and I really enjoy doing a 4 corners seated. So you might want to change the way that you're seated, or if you're comfortable, you can stay where you are. But we'll do seated 4 corners. So reach your arms up and then weave your fingers together, and you can steeple your pointer fingers. So just do a couple of like tick-tocks back and forth. And then raise up, and we'll go to the left this time just to change it up. We always start with the right. So grounding down in your legs, keeping both hips planted on the ground as you twist over to your left side. Focus on opening up in your right shoulder here. So see if you can look over to your right as you bend up and out to the left. And you're really wanting to focus here on your arm kind of reaching toward the point where the wall and the ceiling meet. Lifting your chin, and then coming back to center. Switching the clasp, extending your pointer fingers out again, and coming over to the right. This time focusing on your left shoulder, opening in your left side. Reaching your pointer fingers towards where the wall and the ceiling meet. And then coming back to center. Bringing hands either behind you or onto your low back. And then coming into a seated camel. So first, grounding your hands down wherever they are. So pulling kind of down for a little traction. And then extending your collarbone up and back. Don't forget to breathe here. We often forget to breathe in these back bends, even though this is a gentle one. And then coming into a forward fold. So arms up again, and then coming forward. You can open your knees into child's pose if that feels nice to you, with big toes to touch, knees apart or together. And this will be our forward fold for our 4 corners. And just know that this is a pose you can come back to at any point in the practice. And then coming up, we're going to do some cat-cows. So coming onto all fours. And you can tuck your toes here, or you can plant your feet if you'd like. And then bringing your head through, arching your back down like a U for cow. And then rolling back up into an upside down U for cat. Inhale for cow, bringing everything in towards the center line. And exhaling, rounding up for cat. 2 more rounds. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Come to a seat. We'll do some core here to get us started. And you can choose your own adventure here, so you can choose what kind of boat you want to do, but that's the pose that we're going to take. So you can have your hands at your sides, have your hands on your thighs or on your glutes, kind of your right here. No matter what you do, just make sure that your back isn't rounded. Make sure that your back is straight. So for me today, that's probably going to mean that my arms are here. You're going to lift your feet up. So you might already feel your quads turn on. Activate your toes to get a little more. And we're going to hold boat here. Focus on your core, so focus on hugging everything in. And exhale, bring it out to low boat. So extend your feet, focus on your toes, turn them on, and then inhale back to boat. Again, focusing on keeping the spine nice and long. Exhale out to low boat, whoop, and then inhale to boat. So you may want to even bring your arms out if you can. Exhale to low boat, extending out. Inhale back to boat. The slower you go, the better. Exhale out, and then inhale back to boat. Coming down, crossing your feet, planting your hands down and lifting your bottom up. You can take a little shake here. Maybe you want to lift one foot, lift the other foot. Some people may be able to lift both feet. And then sitting back down, we'll do one more round. So finding your boat, finding whatever feels best for you today. Do this with the most integrity. You may be able to extend your legs, but again, if your spine is rounding, then make sure you straighten out again, or make sure that you straighten your spine out again, which means bending your feet. So exhale to low boat, inhale to boat. Exhale to low boat, inhale to boat. Exhale to low boat, listen for the change. This time, come onto your left side. You're gonna crunch in, out again, and then back to center, back to boat. Let's do the left side, so extend out onto your right side, crunch in, feel the obliques, come back out, whoop, back to boat. Woo, and then extend that into a seat. Hopefully you're feeling some heat already. Planting your hands down, lifting butt up, and then planting down again. Grab a sip of water if you got one, and we'll start to move. We'll start to get up and move. We're gonna do some traditional suns here. So if you know sun salutations, these might be a little bit different than what you're used to today. All right, but just listen for the cues. So you're gonna come into your standing mountain pose. So stand tall. Lift all 10 toes if you can. And then see how slowly you can bring them down onto the mat, spreading them out. Do it again, lift them up. And then see if you can plant them down the other way. Just paying attention to parts of our body that we may not pay attention to. It's important, it's what this is all about. So inhale, coming on up into extended mountain, reaching on nice and high. And then exhale, floating down. Right leg back. Again, these are different from sun A's. And then lift up into a low lunge. We'll take the first one a little slow. Exhale, plant hands down. Come into a down dog. Moving into plank, knees down, and then come all the way down for your chaturanga with elbows hugging in. Coming through to cobra, baby up dog, back to down dog, exhale. This time, bring right leg forward for a low lunge, and then extend arms up. Plant hands down. On an exhale, bring your left leg to meet your right, and then come on all the way up. We don't do the halfway lifts in traditional suns. And then back to Tadasana, we'll do the other side. So all the way up to extended mountain, and dive on down. This time bring left foot back first. Extend arms up. One breath here. And then plant hands down, coming into down dog, and then moving through your flow into plank, knees down, elbows hug in, coming up into your back bend, into cobra or up dog, back to down dog, bringing left leg through for a low lunge, extend arms to the sky, back knee down. One breath here. Plant hands, bring right leg back to meet your left. And then come on up again for mountain. We'll do one more full round. So we'll take each side a little bit faster this time. All right, here we go. Arms up to sky, float all the way down for a swan dive. Right leg back into a low lunge, lift arms up. Exhale brings you down. Take your flow. Traditionally, we do these with knees down for this traditional sun. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale to down dog. Bring right leg forward for a low lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring hands down. Bring left foot to meet your right. Come on up. And then flow on through. So come on all the way down. This time, bring left foot back for a low lunge. Arms up to sky. Plant hands. Move through your flow. Knees up or down. Inhale to the back bend of your choice, cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Left leg comes through for a low lunge. And then exhale, plant hands. Bring right leg forward to meet your left, and we'll stay here for a moment. So bend your knees deeply. Plant your hands on the ground, and hug your torso onto your quads. I'll step back just a bit. So fold forward and then think about extending. See what the difference is. Play with that. Play with a rounded spine versus extending out. Keeping, again, your torso hugging onto your quads. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly straighten as you lift up vertebrae by vertebrae. Might be feeling a little more heat now, I hope you are. I certainly am. All right, so we'll come to our vignettes. So starting in down dog, I'm gonna come to this side of the mat just so you can see me better. On the right side, you can go to whatever side of the mat you're on. So starting in a down dog, our first down dog that we're really sticking to today, I can feel the spilled coffee on my mat. Just a reminder that yoga is actually a practice. Like it's something I have to practice instead of freaking out when I broke the coffee mug at 10:59. Just okay, take a breath and clean it. So rooting down, planting, putting some attention onto your palms here, on your wrist. Rooting through your heels. So bringing your torso through your hands towards your legs. Lifting right leg up. And you can open up your hip. Here, opening up, maybe taking some circles. They can be big or small, whatever you're finding works for you today. And then bring it through for a low lunge. We've been here before. So back knee is down. And we'll just start with a low lunge. So your hands frame your right foot. Check to make sure that your back foot isn't sickled, so that your toes are pointing right behind your knee. And make sure that your right knee is above your right ankle. You can even use your right hand to push your lower back forward for a little more opening in your hip. Moving hands back, I'm gonna take a half Hanuman or half split. So coming onto your right heel, flex right toes. Keep your spine long here in your half split. And you'll probably feel this in your calves, in your hamstrings, all the way on the back of your leg. The more you flex and activate your right foot, the more you'll feel this. Coming back to a low lunge, we're gonna take a quad stretch here. So coming onto your right knee, you're gonna lift your left knee, you're gonna lift your left foot up and see if you can grab it with your left arm, your left hand. My quads are very tight. This is not a particularly pleasing pose for me. It is for some people. This is a nice place to pad your left knee if you've got something to pad it with. And you're pulling your left leg, your left foot towards you to increase the stretch in your quad. Slowly release that. And coming into lizard, usually we do lizard at the end of practice, but I thought since this is a hip opening practice, it'd be nice to do right now. So you can bring your hands to the inside of your right foot. Again, that back knee is planted. And you can stay on your arms like so, or if you'd like a little more, you can come onto your elbows. You may even be able to bring your entire head down. Focus on keeping your right knee in, so you don't want it jutting out in this pose. There are poses where we want that, but not this one. And wherever you are, just relax. Feel whatever might be coming up. Lots of emotion in our hips. If you want a little more, you may even take the bind, so you can bind your right arm through, or leave it as so. Exhale, plant your hands. Come onto your left foot, and then we're gonna come to a wide-legged forward fold to switch sides. So slowly roll up here on the middle of your mat. Your hips may feel a little uneven, so go ahead and just kind of shake them out. And then exhale, reach up, starfish pose. And then come forward into a flat back to start. You can pigeon toe your feet, so bring them in. Feet are parallel to the ends of your mat. And then come into a forward fold. I love forward folds. So you can have your hands in the center of your mat. You can be clasping at your ankles. You can have your hands in the middle of your mat. Find whatever works for you. Wherever you are, take some neck traction too. So bring at least one hand to your neck and use it to gently pull your neck down a little bit, giving yourself a neck stretch. Gently. And then we'll come to the other side. So go straight to down dog from here. If you feel like you want to take a flow in between sides, go for it. I'll do a quick flow. But you can skip it and just meet us in down dog. From here, bring your right foot to the back and center of your mat and lift your left foot up. You can open up in your hip, do some circles, small circles, big circles. And then bring it through for a low lunge on this side. Plant back knee down. So again, starting with a low lunge, hands can be tented or you can have your palms down, but you're framing your foot. And then you're using your low back to move yourself forward to get deeply into your hips here. Back toes can be tucked or the top of your foot can be planted onto the ground. So you're working on your Ujjayi breath here. On every breath, see if you can move a little bit deeper, maybe a millimeter, maybe a centimeter. Wherever you are, it's great. And then coming into half Hanuman on the other side. So extending left foot out, flexing in your left toes. Nice long back and spine as you reach over your half split. You'll feel the stretch here in your entire back of your leg if you flex your toes and activate them. If you don't, then you won't feel it as much. You'll still get the stretch, it just won't be as intense. It's up to you. And then, let's see. I forgot if we took, let's do the quad stretch and then we'll do lizard. I forgot which way we did on the other side. So bringing left hand to your left quad or your left thigh, holding your right foot in your right hand, using your right hand to bring your right foot gently closer to your body. This is also a balancing pose, so choose one point in front of you that's not moving to focus on. Let that go, probably more gently than I did. And now we'll come into lizard. So bringing both hands on the inside of your left foot, you can widen your stance if you want to a bit here. And then choosing if you want to come onto your elbows or staying up on your wrists. Checking out your left knee, making sure that it's right above your left ankle. It's rare that you get injured in yoga. You usually get injured in yoga when you're pushing it too far or you're doing the poses out of integrity. So it's always good to just meet your body where you're at that day. And then if you want to take the bind, you can thread your arm through onto your booty. Planing hand, slowly coming up. We'll go ahead and take a flow. So coming onto your back foot, into down dog, moving through your flow, whatever version that is today. Maybe you're taking a kind of lower energy day, so you skip it. Back into down dog. And then come to the center of your mat. So meet your hands and your foot in the center of your mat as you slowly roll up. Coming into warrior two on the right side. So setting up here with your right foot bisecting your left back arch. And then coming into a little bit of a triangle flow. So bringing arms up to the middle and then coming down. Bringing arms up, maybe you lift your right toes up and then coming on down. And again, up and down. And one more for good measure, up. This time, coming into triangle. So bringing your left hips to the left side, and then coming forward with the top of your body and down into triangle. If you have a block or something to prop your right hand on, this is a good time to do that. You might feel the stretch here in the back of your right side. Point here is to see how, it's like if you were in between two panes of glass, or I'm thinking for Houston, two townhouses. So how narrow can you make your triangle? If you want to, you can even clasp your right big toe if you have that flexibility and that openness. Gaze can be up towards your left hand, or you can bring it down. Wherever you are, take 3 mindful breaths here. After your 3rd breath, bend your right knee and come into half moon. So you can kind of shimmy your left foot forward like this. Right hand can come onto a block, and then left arm comes up. Stamp the back wall behind you with your left foot. And open up in your hip. So your legs are making a 90-degree angle. Don't have your legs up or particularly down if you can. See how close you can get to 90 degrees. And then as gently as possible, whoop, coming into whoop, warrior 2. Ta-da! And switching sides. We'll do the other side. This coffee is making my mat sticky. Whoop. All right, warrior 2. Straightening up into starfish, and then opening up again into warrior 2. Coming back up again, straightening legs, straightening arms, and back into warrior 2. 2 more. Up to the center, and back to warrior 2, and last one. Up to the center. This time, we're going to take triangle. So bring right hips to the back of our mat towards the right side and hinge over into triangle. Again, your choice where your left arm is. So it can be on a block. It can be grabbing onto that left big toe. It can be on your left shin. This is almost like this is a back bending pose. It's a slight back bend, but it's there. Lifting up and out. One more mindful breath here. And then you know where we're going. We're going into half moon. So bring your left hand outside of your left foot. Whoop, and then your right foot back. So it may look different on this side, or it may feel different. You may notice your balance feels different. If you fall out of it, just come right back in, no worries. Opening your legs to 90 degrees here. Feeling your hips opening. One more breath here. Maybe focus on the last breath on extending your fingers up, maybe some spirit fingers. And then coming down into a forward fold. Moving into a flow, so coming through down dog. Taking plank, knees up or down as you go through a chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or up dog. Exhale to down dog. Coming into Malasana squat. So if you want to sit on a block, this is yogi squat. You can. I'll show you with and without a block. So if you want a block underneath you for support, that's there for you, or you can take it without. Wherever you are, plug your palms together at heart center and use your triceps on the inside of your knee to help you open up your hips, open up in your groin here. And breathe. This can be a restful pose. This can be an active pose. Again, it just depends on what energy you put into it. From here, plant right hand down. And if you can, lift left arm up. If you were on a block before and you want to grab a block, you can. And then hands come to heart center and take the other side. This adds a little more intensity to our yogi squat. Hands back to heart center. If crow is a part of your practice, we'll take a little crow here. So hands at shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider than shoulder width. Feet are together, big toes to touch. Crouch down. I like to get into as tiny a ball as possible. Bringing my shins, my calf muscle to hug my the back of my arms here, so my triceps. And I'm coming forward. Again, I'm in a little as ball as possible as I can. If you want to, you can lift one toe, maybe the other. See where you are today. If you are flying, pick a point in front of you for a couple seconds. And then bring big toes down. Let that go. Maybe give it one more shot. Sometimes I can hold this for a minute. Today I'm having trouble holding it for more than a couple seconds. Yoga truly is different every day. That's what I love about it. And sometimes I'm annoyed by it. Coming down, letting it go. We'll do one more standing series before we come on down to the ground. So we're gonna do the same series we did with just a little bit of change at the end. So again, coming into warrior two, wherever you were for that crow, let that go. And then settling into our warrior two, lifting up again. And then warrior two, lifting up again. Warrior two. Make this a flow for you, so make it work for you. Add some movement. Make it like a little dance. No one's watching, it's just you. And this time, settling into extended side angle. So right arm comes onto the top of your right thigh, right elbow. Left arm extends up and over. I like this image, so think about telescoping your ribs as if your ribs are like a telescope and you're extending them out. If a bind is in your practice, a half bind, a full bind, go ahead and take that now. Or just stay in extended side angle. Two more breaths here. Focus right now on hugging everything towards the center. So almost as if you were like you had a big beach ball and you were trying to hug it with your legs. Might feel some different muscles turn on. On the next exhale, coming into half moon again, this time with the choice to take sugar cane if you'd like to. So for sugar cane, you're grabbing onto your left foot and you're bowing it out. Almost as if you were in dancer, but it's like a fallen dancer. Or you can take traditional half moon. Pick one point in front of you. So for your drishti. And then again, gently coming down into warrior two. And switching sides. So warrior two on the left. Left heel bisects right back arch. And then bringing arms up and straightening left leg. And then coming down into warrior two. And again. And then exhale down. Making it your own, so making it a little dance. One more time. So warrior two straight to extended side angle. Left arm rests on top of your left thigh. Think about planting the blade edge of your right leg onto your mat, onto the ground. Telescoping your ribs again on this side. Taking a half bind, taking a full bind, whatever happens to be in your practice. And moving into half moon. I'll do it with a block on this side. Maybe take sugar cane this time if you want. So left arm comes down, right leg comes up. If you want to take sugar cane, right arm clasps onto your right foot. This side feels a little more challenging and wobbly for me, so I'm just noticing that. Wondering what that's about, trying not to judge. And then exhale, gently letting the foot go. And then bringing your right foot to meet your left. Moving your block out of the way if you have a block there. Bringing legs to maybe mat width apart. And then just taking a forward fold and shimming on down to the mat. Whoop. I don't know if you heard that little snap, crackle, pop in my knees. If you've got a sip of water, you can go ahead and take it. You're gonna start to slow down. We'll do a little more hip opening seated here. So we'll take a seated cobbler's pose. Or maybe like what is this, like a butterfly? So bringing your bottoms of your feet together, open up like a book. I would gently bring your knees down to the ground, but like no pushing here or anything like that. Focus on lengthening out. That image of like a string pulling the top of your head up, you can use that here if that's helpful to you. Feet are kissing. And then lifting arms up and folding forward with a flat back. Stay with your back flat. So don't round yet. We will in a second. Maybe on each exhale, you creep your fingers forward just a tad. Maybe it's undiscernible, but you know. Now you can round your spine and come on down. You can use your hands as a headrest, or you can relax your head down completely. And then bringing arms back towards your body as you slowly come up. We're gonna come into double pigeon. This is not a pose that I love, but it's a pose that gets into the hips. So, but I'll show you a couple of variations in case double pigeon isn't in your practice. So bring the right leg down. So you can start with your left foot out and your right leg in. You can even bring your right leg, let's do it like this, sorry. Left foot is gonna be underneath and you're gonna flex your left foot. Bring your right foot on top, okay? Just like so. And your right knee may be coming up, that's totally fine. Don't worry about that. Just focus on activating and flexing both of your feet. If this is too much for you, you can let go of your right. But if you're taking double pigeon, just stay here. Sit up nice and tall. And if you want to, if you want a little more even, you can come on over. This is a pretty intense hip opener. So bringing hands back and switching sides. So this time, right foot comes on the bottom, left foot comes on top. Bringing your left foot all the way over to almost to where your right knee is. Left knee may come up, that's totally fine. It doesn't have to be flush or flat on the top of your right foot. So starting sitting up, and then you can slowly come down if you want a little more heat. You want a little more opening in your hips. That's already pretty intense as is. And then bringing hands back, moving straight from here into cow face. Again, another pose I don't love, but it really gets deep into the hips. So bending your right knee in and bringing your right leg towards your left hip. And then left foot can come on top. And if you want to, you can grab onto the tops of your feet. Your knees should be as close together as possible on top of each other. And for this, we're gonna pull onto our feet and you're gonna get into your left glute here. That's where I feel mine. Just a little bit of gentle pulling, nothing too intense. And then switch your feet. So left knee comes in and under, right knee comes on top. You may feel that it's different on this side. Grabbing the tops of your feet and hugging them closer to you. Feeling the stretch in your right glute this time. I get a little more too if I hug my, my upper arm into my body towards my torso. That changes the stretch too. And then letting that go and coming onto our backs. Setting up soon here to rest. Not quite though. First we're gonna do happy baby. So bringing your legs open, feet open, grabbing onto the inside or outside of your feet, giving your spine a nice little massage back and forth. Hopefully it feels really nice after all of the deep hip openers we did. And then bringing feet together and closing your knees like a book. Scooting hips over to the left side and bringing knees over to the right for a supine twist. bringing your left hand on top of your left thigh. Sorry, I'm getting into my yoga zone. So you can extend your right arm out, or you can leave it on top of your leg. Extend your left arm out, and your gaze can be towards your left hand. If you want a little more here, you can straighten your left leg and see if you can reach it with your right arm, which I cannot today. Totally up to you. And then coming into center, bringing your hips towards the right and your knees down towards the left. Right arm comes out, hugging shoulders onto the ground here. So tendencies for right shoulder to come up, but see if you can keep it on the ground. Left hand comes and brings your right leg closer to the ground. Or it can stay out at a T, up to you. And then of course there's the possibility of extending your right leg out and straight and grabbing onto your right big toe with your left hand. Coming back to center. Doing whatever pose you need to do. So if that's a bridge or a shoulder stand or anything else you want to do before closing out your practice, do that now. Or you can just hug your knees in and then open up straight into Shavasana. Got a couple minutes, so don't skip out. Give yourself this gift of time the last couple minutes. So start by checking in with yourself again. How are you feeling? Really, how are you feeling now? Did you have racing thoughts before and now maybe they've quieted a bit? Or maybe some really strong emotions were brought up during that practice and you want to try and quiet them down. So maybe taking a walk later or doing some more centering. What part of your body does feel more open? What part of your body still feels a little tight or tense? And then completely let go and rest. And I'll stop talking for about a minute so you can just focus on the rest here. And starting to come back into our bodies, into our world. You can introduce some gentle movements into your fingers and your toes. I always like to do wrist circles, some circles with my ankles. Then I come on over to your favorite side. Spending a moment or two here before we come back up. And then using your right hand or whatever hand to bring yourself back up to center. Coming into a seat to close out. So I want to close out today by thinking about, now that you've given yourself some time, who can you give a little more time to today? Maybe through this practice you found that that's you, that you actually need more time and attention. But maybe you feel complete, you feel good, and you can give a little more to someone else today. So, walk away from here focusing and thinking about that. So thank you for showing up. I so appreciate it. It's an honor. Your time is such an asset and a treasure. So thank you for spending it with me and trusting me to lead you through your practice. Namaste.